Islam Makhachev is set to fight Ian Garry at UFC 330, and I hear people saying Ian Garry is going to get the victory. This is the year of the underdog. Ian Garry's the bigger man. Islam Makhachev fought Jack Della Maddalena. JDM's trash. This is all bullshit. This is bullshit. Ian Garry is a bum. This guy's a bum. This guy's a decision merchant. This guy's a jab merchant. This guy's a boring technical striker, and Islam Makhachev is going to get the job done. It's going to be a decision. It's going to be boring to watch. It's not going to be a war. It's going to be a technical battle. But people who say Ian Garry's going to make it look easy and he's going to knock out Islam Makhachev are delusional. Islam Makhachev is the greatest UFC fighter of today. He's one of the greatest of all time. And people who say that Islam Makhachev is overrated because he had a close fight with Volkanovski, because he had a close fight with Dustin Poirier, are delusional. They're delusional. I used to say this stuff when I was a bit more of a casual fan. The truth is, Islam Makhachev, we are witnessing one of the greatest runs in UFC history. This guy's about to go on and beat Anderson Silva's winning record. He's going to go ahead and beat that winning streak. He's on a 16-fight win streak right now. If he beats Ian Garry, it's going to be 17 fights. I think the reason why people say Islam Makhachev is going to struggle with this fight, first of all, the Khabib camp has come out and said, this is going to be a tough fight. We are preparing for a war. We are preparing for one of the hardest fights of Islam's career. They always say this kind of stuff. The Khabib camp, they always go out and they always say this type of stuff. It's what they do. They're very humble. They're very respectful. They like to go out there and be prepared. They take every opponent seriously, and rightfully so. It's a fight at the end of the day. You can go out there and the first kick you throw, you can snap your leg in half. Anything can happen. The human body is extremely delicate and it's not supposed to be hit in the way it gets hit in that octagon. Of course, they're going to be humble. Of course, they're going to be aware of the reality of combat. But the truth is, Ian Garry is one of Islam Makhachev's easiest opponents. He's very tall, 6'3". That's going to make the takedowns a lot easier. And quite frankly, he's going to sub him very easily. Islam Makhachev has always done well against tall opponents. He's one of those guys that struggles against short guys because they're harder to get the takedowns on, because the center of gravity is lower, and thus the takedown becomes harder, and then the submission gets harder. Volkanovski could not be subbed in that first fight because he has no neck. He has no neck. He's a human ball of muscle. Old Alexander Volkanovski. Have some moi, have some fairy bread down by the reserve. You know, it is what it is. Volkanovski is one of those guys that is hard to sub. Brian Ortega had him in one of the tightest guillotines in UFC history, and he couldn't sub old Volkanovski. The bro has no neck. He's a ball of muscle. Islam Makhachev still beat him 4-1 and then knocked him out in the rematch. Obviously short notice. Fair enough. I don't really count that fight either. But he still knocked him out. An incredibly impressive performance. We saw him against Moicano. Now, I'm not comparing Ian Garry to Moicano, but Moicano's a tall opponent, and he went out there and he took him down and subbed him easily. The truth is, Islam does well against tall opponents. He does well against tall opponents because they're easier to grab the legs of, and they're easier to get the takedown on. Islam Makhachev is going to take down Ian Garry, and he's going to sub him relatively easily. I think he's going to finish him. I truly do. Islam Makhachev's then going to go on a run. I think he's going to go on a run. I think he's going to defend the belt a couple more times. He could probably defend it against Morales. Morales is easy. He can defend it against Prates. Prates got taken down by JDM. And it just takes me to the point that people in the welterweight division are not that good. The contenders in the welterweight division are overrated as hell. They're overrated as hell. Carlos Prates ain't that good. He ain't that good. You know, he's getting taken. He's very good on the feet, but overall, as a complete fighter, he's not that good. You know, Michael Morales going out there standing like this, all hunched over against Sean Brady, trying to defend the takedown. Like, the level of skill in the welterweight division is not as high as people think it is. You know, Michael Morales is just a big brute who cuts a lot of weight. Sean Brady is shit. He's crap. Bilal Muhammad is ass. Who's the guy who beat Bilal Muhammad? Gabriel Bonfim couldn't even finish Muhammad. You know, the guys in the welterweight division, Shavkat, he's an aura merchant. He's not out there finishing the top level guys like he is the cans that they put him up there against. The truth is, the welterweight division, as much as people say it's stacked, You can say it's stacked all you like. It's not a stacked division. It's truly not a stacked division. The guys in there are cool. They have a cool look. They have cool personalities. But the truth is, the only skillful guys in that division were Usman and Islam. And Usman's moved up, and Islam's there, and he's there to stay. He's 35 years old. He can defend the belt a couple more times. Easily. He can defend against these guys easily. These guys have no wrestling. They have no takedown defense. And Ian Garry's probably the hardest of them all, but it's still going to be an easy fight. He's a tall guy. Islam Makhachev can get the takedown on him, and he can sub him relatively easy. He's got a long-ass neck. Easily, a das, anything, man. Islam can do what he needs to do. The only difference is going to be the weight, and you worry about weight when it comes to power punching, but Ian Garry is not a power puncher. He's just not. He's not knocked out anyone since his Cage Warriors days. This is going to be one of Islam Makhachev's easiest defenses because lighter man skill truly is a thing, and the skill level in the lightweight division compared to the welterweight division is night and day. We saw Islam go out there and struggle with Poirier and then absolutely dominate JDM. JDM, people were saying, is just a bigger Poirier. In no world is JDM a bigger version of Poirier. Poirier is more skilled, more durable, has more heart, has better striking, has better takedown defense. The welterweight division is a comparably weak division, and Islam Makhachev would have had a harder time defending the belt and continuing to defend the belt at lightweight than he is at welterweight. Moving up to welterweight is the best decision he's ever made for his career because he can go ahead and get free, easy legacy wins against these overrated welterweights who are just size. They're just size. All they have is size. They don't have any skill, and they don't have anything real that can test Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is going to go on an absolute run, and if he does decide to stay fighting, he's going to defend that belt 2, 3, 4 times more and go down as the greatest of all time. He's going to easily beat Ian Garry. Carlos Prates is going to be a walk in the park. Michael Morales is going to be a walk in the park. Sean Brady would be easy. If Usman came back down, that would be a tough fight, but I think Islam would take it. Islam can go on an absolute run, and I am sick of people discrediting his greatness. Every single time Islam gets a win, it's always discredited. Charles Oliveira. Oh, well, Charles Oliveira is a former featherweight. So is Dustin Poirier. Volk's a featherweight. These are legendary wins. He's going on these legendary streaks. He's beating all these great guys. He's beat Dan Hooker. He's beat Moicano. These are underrated wins. He's beat King Green. Like, the respect that Islam gets should be through the fucking roof. You know, look how glazed Ilia Topuria got for beating Volk and for beating Charles Oliveira. When Islam Makhachev beat these guys, they were on absolute streaks. When Islam beat Volk, he was on a 22-fight undefeated streak. When he beat Charles Oliveira, he was on like a 12-fight winning streak. That was title run Oliveira. That was mythical fighter Charles Oliveira. When he beat JDM was like on a 17, 18-fight win streak. He's beating all these guys in their prime when they're at their best. Ilia's going out there and he's beating them when they're at the tail end of their careers. So Islam needs more respect. People need to put more respect on his name, and he's going to absolutely run through Ian Garry. That's my prediction. Early prediction. He's going to absolutely destroy him. People need to put respect on Islam Makhachev's name because we are witnessing one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time right now. Like and subscribe. I'll see you boys later. Much love.